The views and opinions expressed on Unlock Your Wealth Radio are those of the host, guests, and callers only and are not necessarily the views of Unlock Your Wealth Radio, Heather Wagenhals, or Success Publishing International.
More willpower than a barefoot woman at a shoe sale. Able to stretch a single paycheck for an entire month. Makes money concepts easier than third grade math. Introducing your purveyor of prosperity, Heather Wagenhals.
Work all day, stress all night. Take your mind off your money and focus on your life. Money don't matter for the stuff it buys. It's the way you think, not what you've got, yeah.
Unlock Your Wealth Radio starts now. Get your money mind right.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at unlockyourwealthradio.com/freebook and click on the link to over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Welcome to the show, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. We are so glad to have you. I'm Heather Wagenhals, flanked by my producer extraordinaire, Michael Terry.
Hey, folks.
And we will help you get your money mind right on today's episode with these great features. First off, key 3, dreams with deadlines. Our moolah word of the day. How about some debt consolidation in your future?
Oh, yeah.
Our moneyism has to do with money being a terrible master. Money dramas. Are you too in debt to invest? Interesting. How about minutes on your money? Let's talk top 10 saving strategies. Trivia question is always based on a previous show. That would be take action, make assessment. You going to make it over there?
Yeah.
I need to do some Heine lick maneuver or something? No, you're fine. And we've got the headmaster for the School of Startups, Jim Beach, joining us today. As always, we will talk about your money, your credit, and how to get ahead in any economy. We will also show you how to manage your money easier, saving time and reducing stress using these proven techniques for you to create unlimited wealth and happiness. Insiders Club members enter automatically in our weekly giveaways. However, if you are not a member and would like to compete for great money management tools, just answer today's trivia question correctly. So this week's trivia question is, in last week's show, we talked about our first action as organic. And what were we going to do by going green? We were going to do something by going green because we are looking for the when and why behind the what, so we can figure out the how to fix it. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't know the answer.
No.
Okay. Well, one time you got it.
I did.
You did get it one time. So that was good. Well, if you happen to know the right answer, you can win one of 3 ways. You can call in, chat in, or email in to win. If you want to call in, that number is 1-866-966-9420. That's 866-966-9420. If you're listening live from the website, you can hop in the chat room. I'm here, ready for you and your potential right answer. And if you are listening from a syndicator or from a podcast, I just found out my cousin found us on Downcast, on the Downcast app. So I was all excited about that. Yes. So we're everywhere. So if you're listening from one of those and don't have the opportunity to call in, or if you're driving around, never fear. Email is here. All you have to do is send us an email to trivia@UIW Radio with your potential right answer so you can win fabulous prizes. And if you have no idea what the answer is, everyone can still walk away winner. For those of you who are listeners of Unlock Your Wealth Radio, Audible is offering a free audiobook download and 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. Just visit our website to get started today. So how about some minutes on your money, shall we?
Sounds good.
Would you like 10 ways to save?
Oh, yeah.
To help you reach your goal? Here are 10 top savvy saving strategies courtesy of Financial Post to help you repair your finances and reach your goals. First, Save your leftovers. A lot of us do this by default. We wait until the end of the month after money has been sucked away for rent or mortgages or insurance or car payments or debt interest payments or the like. And anything that is left over goes toward our longer term goals. But what happens if there's nothing to save? We need to save upfront. And then if there's stuff left over, we can save that too. So that's just an additional saving strategy. Number 2, set aside a certain amount every month. Learn how much you should be putting away. Financial planning company LearnVest suggests using the 50-20-30 rule. 50% of your paycheck should go to essentials like housing, food, etc. 30 should go to lifestyle choices like cable, entertainment, movies, things like that. And then 20% should go to financial priorities like debt repayment, retirement contributions, emergency savings, etc.
Wow. 50, 30, 20.
50, 30, 20. It's kind of or actually 50, 20, 30. That's weird that they did it that way because then they contradicted themselves. Anyway, we have our own strategy at Unlock Your Wealth Radio. And if you would like to learn more, just visit the website. How about save at least 8 times your ending salary? What?
Wait a minute. Ending salary.
Yes.
What's an ending salary?
Before you retire, the last moolah you make actively.
Okay.
So how do you get there? You need to try to save at least as much as your current salary saved by 35. So if you make, $75,000 a year, by the time you're 35, you should have 75 in the bank.
Okay.
Have 3 times of your salary saved at 45. And so once you have the power of compound interest,
man,
it'll get going though. It'll get going. You can make that happen because time will take care of itself. Because remember, it doubles every so many years based on your interest rate. So that's totally doable. If you've got the first leg by the time you're 35, 10 more years later, you could totally have the second part. All right. And then 5 times by 55, which is another 10 years. But again, remember when your money doubles, 75 becomes 150, 150 doubled becomes 300. See how it gets going? Yeah. So 300 then becomes 600. 600 becomes 1.2 million.
Right.
See, so it doesn't take many doubling cycles to really get rich.
Right.
And the longer you let it go, the richer you'll be.
Yeah.
So that's the key. So if you can let it go that fast, because it's doubling at a rate faster than that multiple, if you think about it. Mm-hmm. So because 75 goes into 300 how many times?
4.
There you go. See, so that's 4 times, but it only had to double once. Mm-hmm. So it creates the momentum as it goes. So it's very, very doable. So Fidelity analysts assume you start saving when you're 25. So you only have to start saving 10 years before that first big bump of where you need to be. So most will retire at 67 and will live to age 92. And you will likely spend 85% of your salary in retirement.
Right.
So if you make, let's just do it for the sake of math. If you make $10,000 a year, you'll spend $8,500 of it, is what they're estimating. And if it's been in a like a Roth IRA, you done paid your taxes on it, you're like pulling out tax free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you think about that savings, it makes it real easy. The earlier you start or the later you retire, the more moolah you're going to have. And remember, just a few bucks each and every day early on can mean lots of bucks later on.
Yeah.
So that's the key.
Automatic savings too. I would. Do you have that on the list?
I don't know. We're not down that far yet. Well, maybe that's part of that. Set aside a certain amount every month.
Having the bank take it out of your checkbook for you.
Right.
I think that's really key.
Right. So number 4 is create a personalized plan and save just enough. Figure out a dollar figure for your retirement or your children's education and work backwards. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
How funny. In our dreams with deadlines, planning backwards. With retirement, for example, online calculators can help you determine how much you'll need, adjusted for inflation and etc. Consider seeing a financial planner who can help you with the math if you are not confident. Also, pay down your mortgage. Your primary residence is a tax-free investment, and putting money toward the mortgage is another form of forced savings. However, they mentioned that you are putting your money into an illiquid asset. So I would say, instead of paying down this mortgage, start saving up for another one that you can go as an investment property that creates cash flow for you.
There's definitely differences of opinion on
that. Yeah. So I'm not into that pay down your mortgage thing. Number 6, invest your savings. As a general rule, subtract your age from 100 and put that percentage of your retirement savings in stock, while the rest goes into safer investments such as bonds. So after we subtract your age from 100, what do we have? 5? 5.
Wise guy. About 40.
I should really stop that, because if I'm going to be practicing these 4 agreements like I started at the beginning of the year, I'm not being impeccable with my word. And that's not very good. Yeah. Well, and someday somebody's going to pick on me.
You're right. But I don't care. I really don't care. And I was always the young guy in the band, so now I'm the old guy in the band. It's a
Oh, I know how crazy how that shifts.
It's a little weird.
I know. Carrie, whom I love and adore and couldn't live without, who makes all of this run, said to me, "Thank you so much for being my mentor and friend. I learned so much from you." And I'm like, really? Because I thought I was flying by the seat of my pants. I'm still learning too.
It's amazing how that works.
Okay, so 6, how about invest your savings? All right. So subtract the age, and that
40.
much needs to be cranking in stocks. Yeah. So, because you still got some gambling time left.
Yeah, I mean, I think my guys had me in mutual funds. I think they pretty much got me out of stocks completely. It's too volatile.
Well, but what do you think are in your mutual funds?
Yeah, but they're a little more managed, though, right? Right? Mutual funds.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do. It's still individual stocks. They just, instead of being all in IBM, you're like spread in like 30 or 50 stocks.
So, it sounds a little more balanced and controlled to me.
Wow. Okay. I don't want to mess with you. You're going to be on the phone calling your financial advisor on the next commercial break. Hey, Heather just said this. What do I need to know? What's going on? I'm nervous now. Sorry. Okay. How about 7? Make your IRA contribution do double duty by taking any refund that you receive from the IRS and throwing that towards your savings goals. Number 8, look for opportunities where someone is going to match you or give you extra benefit. You've got to take that match. It's got to happen from your 401k. You're ridiculous not to. Where else can you get a guaranteed 50% return or better?
Yeah.
Where?
Nowhere.
I know.
Yeah.
And you don't have to wait for it. You don't have to wait 6 months for your 50%.
I'm amazed that,
that more people don't do it.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing. It's the easiest one overlooked.
I'm amazed that the corporations, Jennifer's doctors give her match 50%, I think.
Well, there you go. So she's smart. She's smart when she takes it. Number 9, start a savings group. It's like a book club with less books. Well, I don't like that part. That doesn't go along with our become a voracious reader key. No. But it looks like a book club with more wine, and it works. A study of Chilean entrepreneurs revealed that those who reported a weekly peer group deposited 3.5 times more often into their savings than those without peer support. That's a cool kind of peer pressure. Yeah. Dude, you only put $100 away? I put in $150 this week. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm so going to whip out another $50 more. That's the good kind of peer pressure. Come on, dude. You should do it. Everybody's doing it. You should come on, put that money away.
Yeah.
I dare you. I double dog dare you.
Yeah.
I triple dog dare you. Remember that from Christmas Story? I triple dog dare you.
I got to see that whole movie. I haven't seen it all the way through.
Are you serious? It's only been around for 1,000 years.
I see it in sections every year, like the beginning, the middle.
I grew up. Peter and I were at the same modeling agency together as kids. Did you know?
The kid?
Yeah, Peter Billingsley.
Wow.
Bobby Ball.
He was cool.
Bobby Ball. He still is cool.
And Darren McGavin was the father, right? Darren.
Yes. You can rent that house and have like a...
Was it McGavin?
Yeah. Darren McGavin.
He was the Nightfly, too, or he was one of those detectives, a detective show. I forget what the name of it was.
Right. That was
Night fly?
No. It was it'll come to me.
Yeah.
And last but not least, tackle your debt. Debt is one of the top reasons why people don't save. So pay off your debt pay off all of your frivolous debt. We'll just leave it at that because I don't like the rest of the advice that this is giving. So we're going to edit this article on the fly like I usually do. So we have Moolah Word. We have Headmaster from the School for Startups. If you are thinking about getting your entrepreneur on, you want to stay tuned for more. Jim Beach is going to be here. We've got Keys to Riches. We've got Money Dramas. We got so much on Unlock Your Wealth Radio. Stay tuned for more right after this.
Commander Marty Logan here from the Top Gun Seminars. What I've learned over the years is that the most successful people in life have coaches to guide them along their chosen path. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Tony Stewart, Tom Hopkins, Kathy Colby all had coaches. Whether it was their father, someone else's father, or another person who helped them to shape their desires into an achievable path to success with a system of accountability where quitting was the only way to fail. Each of these people had someone who didn't see them as they first were, but as the person inside they knew they could easily become. Financial coaching can be the single addition you need to become financially independent. Call the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation now for your free consultation. 1-866-966-9420. That toll-free number again is 1-866-966-9420. Or visit us on the web at www.unlockyourwealth.com.
I'm Heather Wagenhals. Too much month left over at the end of the money? Tired of paying off debt again like a slave? Then tune in to my 1-minute update on Fort Myers Beach Radio for your morning cup of money motivation. And for more tips, visit crackingyourmoneycode.com.
Attention passengers, please fasten your seatbelts as we are in for some turbulent weather ahead.
Bill Thomason is the Valley's premier business coach. Bill can help you ride out the turbulence your business may encounter. Bill Thomason is the America's premier executive coach and strategist. Bill can help you create the life you will love living. Over more than a quarter century, Bill has helped thousands of people just like you to achieve success beyond what they had imagined. Now is the best time you will ever have to decide what you want and to take powerful action toward achieving the outcomes you desire in your life. Bill has studied the success patterns of the highly successful people, and he has provided coaching and training programs to small business people and to top Fortune 500 executives across the U.S. and Canada. Now you can benefit from Bill's experience. If you are like most people, you may just need the professional encouragement a coach can give and a real plan for creating the outcomes you say you want in life. Call Bill now, 602-321-7192 to schedule executive coaching sessions.
Thank you for flying NLP Skills Training Institute.
Work all day, stress all night. Take your mind off your money and focus on your life.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today's show is sponsored in part by LifeLock. Comprehensive identity theft protection from LifeLock helps safeguard your finances, credit, and good name. Get your special offer for Unlock Your Wealth Radio listeners at unlockyourwealthradio.com/LifeLock and protect your financial future now. I'm Heather Wagenhals, your maven of Moolah, with your maestro of Moolah, Michael Terry.
Hey, folks.
And it is time for the Moolah word of the day. And that would be debt consolidation. And debt consolidation is the replacement of multiple loans with a single loan, often with a lower monthly payment and longer repayment period. It's also called a consolidation loan. And the problem with these is people get them and then they go nuts again.
Yeah.
And now they've got twice the debt. So the thing to do would be to create a strategy, because it sounds good. Oh, yeah, so you can defer your savings, to be invested or whatever. Yeah. But the behavior is there,
We did one for the college tuition loans. Jesse did one for. But I think that was a positive move.
Well, but consolidating all student loans into one big one is not consolidating your 50 credit cards and garbage together.
Didn't do that.
Yeah. So that one makes sense for the student loan gig.
Yeah, you get a better interest rate, a lower payment, and so I think
that's a good thing. So how about our guest, which I've lost where is it? Mr. Beach's bio. Mr. Beach, life's a beach. I met Mr. Beach. I was a guest on his show.
Oh, were you?
Yes. So that's how I met him. He had me talk about, I don't remember what, all sorts of things. It was
To do with money, I'm sure.
Yes, that would be it. I think we were talking identity theft or something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, he was so fascinating with what he did. And I thought, you know what? This guy needs to come on our show and teach people how to be entrepreneurs. And his first book, as a matter of fact, School for Startups, was published by McGraw-Hill. And that is like a textbook publisher, you know. And it reached as high as number 9 on the Amazon business section. So he started businesses and taught entrepreneurship around the world. And he recently won the Small Business Administration's Media Advocate Award for his terrestrial radio show. That should be us. Why aren't we winning awards? Oh, because we don't submit to win, huh?
Yeah.
You got to enter. Got to enter to win.
Costs money.
Yeah, probably.
It does.
That's okay. We got money.
Yeah.
We're a money show.
Yeah,
we
should.
It
sort of defeats the purpose after a while.
Oh, does it?
Well, you know,
paying to win.
I remember when I won my first Emmy, and I had to pay for the plaque.
Well, I'm cool with paying for the plaque. That's okay. At least you got an Emmy, for goodness sakes.
I don't know. I think they give you the plaque for free, for heaven's sakes. You won the award.
Yeah.
But whatever.
That's okay. All my hunting awards I had to pay for.
Yeah.
And pay to go into the book. But you got to do it because you want to be in the book. You want to see your name there.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, Jim received his MBA from the University of Hawaii and the Japan America Institute of Management Science in Tokyo. He specialized in Japanese financial systems and was selected to receive the Fujitsu Foundation for International Education Scholarship and was a member of the Beta Gamma Sigma, and he was also awarded the highest honors. He's worked for Japanese Government Trade Promotion Office, where he helped American companies export, like Coke. You know, that's kind of cool. At the age of 25, he founded American Computer Experience. From 93 to 2000. He grew the company with no capital infusion to $12 million in annual revenue in over 60 states and in 3 countries, with locations at MIT, Stanford, UCLA, Georgetown, and other exclusive universities. He was the company's largest. This company was the world's largest technology training company for children, and he enjoyed corporate tie-ins with Microsoft, Intel, Lego, NASA, and many others. He's done like so many things. He had to drop out of school, actually. I think he was telling me this story. We'll have to ask him about it on today's show. How he had to drop out of school, like some graduate school, because his business was doing so well he couldn't get the homework done or something. It was kind of a funny thing. So he's done all sorts of stuff. So let's just bring him onto the show so we can get all the good stuff, because, you know, I could read his bio. It'll take me into next week before I get it done. So, Jim, welcome to Unlock Your Wealth Radio. We are so excited. You're going to help us start our own business.
Thank you so much for having me, Heather. I greatly appreciate it. It is my honor to be with you.
So, School for Startups, what a great concept. So, you know, as we think about brand new ventures, what, in your opinion, do you define entrepreneurship as?
Well, you know, I think if we were to play Family Feud and put the top 3 answers up on the board, that most people would say entrepreneurship is, you know, creative people doing risky things that they are passionate about. And I would unfortunately disagree with all 3 of those big assertions, you know, creativity, risk, and passion. I think so many people, Heather, desperately want to be entrepreneurs, but they're sitting on the sofa, they're sitting on the sidelines because they're saying, well, I can't take that risk right now, or, ooh, I'm not a creative person. You know I'm not very creative, so I won't be very good at this, or I just don't know what I'm passionate about. And so they're sitting there wasting their lives away as unhappy worker bees for the man, as opposed to being an entrepreneur and creating their wealth and unlocking their wealth. And instead of unlocking their life, they're sitting there and using these media-created, preconceived, yet incorrect ideas of entrepreneurship. And so what I want people to understand with the book is that you don't have to be creative to be an entrepreneur. It's great if you are, but you don't have to be. You don't have to take a bunch of risks. You don't have to be passionate about what you do. all you have to do is get off the sofa. And so my wife, about 2 years ago, I challenged my wife to start a business, and on December 26th, she started a very simple, boring business. And if you ask what it is, I'll disappoint you because it's the least sexy business model in the world. Yet, however, in the first year, with $535 of investment, she created a business, and she bought a system, one of these systems that you can buy, Heather, and made $68,000 in the first year while she's a full-time mother, has a full-time job. She cooks dinner every night. She happens to be pregnant right now, and so we had enough time to get her pregnant, Heather. You know what I mean? So,
you had some free time on your hands, I see.
So we had some free time, and she made $68,000 while having a full-time job. So that's my message. You don't have to be creative. You can buy a system off the shelf. We're not passionate about that business. We're only passionate about the $68,000, and there was no creativity. The risk was $535. That's not that bad.
That's good.
No, that's great. I think about that term risk, and people think of risk as scary, but risk has quality and gradations to it. Just because there is risk doesn't mean it's insurmountable. I think about, walking down the stairs. There's a risk every time you walk down the stairs that you'll fall. But do we think about that risk?
That's right. That's right. If you're willing to start a business for the same amount that you would take on a vacation, right? If you were to go on vacation for a week to Disney, that's $5,000. That's the amount that you can start a business with. This idea that you need $1 million to start a business, well, that's just simply not true. Lots of really great businesses have been started for under $500 and will be in the future. And so don't worry about the money. Sometimes a great business is started with $500.
Yeah, I agree with you. So, if people are willing to spend that much on their vacation, $5,000 just to go to Disneyland, that seems, for me, but I don't have kids, so that seems like an ungodly amount of money to spend for a week. But if I'm willing to risk that, how do you show someone for that same investment they can actually create an income stream that'll take them back to Disneyland for the rest of their lives? I mean, $68,000 is quite a few Disneyland trips.
Yes, it is. And that's what we're all about. Actually, in the book, that we had a McGraw-Hill book that started School for Startups, started the brand name and all of that. At the end of the book, we have 40 businesses that you can create for under $5,000, and we spell out the entire business. Here's everything you need to do. If you go on, there's this incredible website, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Google. And if you go on Google and type in business models for under $5,000 or businesses to start for under $5,000, thousands of ideas will pop up. And so, again, that's to my point, that creativity is not necessarily an important piece of this. If you find a really cool thing that someone's doing in Seattle and you live in Phoenix, well, then do that in Phoenix. Copy. There's nothing wrong with copy, borrowing, or stealing a good business idea. We have Hyatt and Hilton and Marriott and a whole bunch of other people that have these things called hotels. There's nothing wrong with being another person in that space. We're not trying to become billionaires. We're just trying to become people who, make $300,000 a year and go to Disney 3 times a year,
Exactly.
So,
my husband says, why draw when you can trace?
I love it. I love it.
It kind of speaks to
I
that
100% agree. There's no reason to wait on the sofa for God to strike you with some sort of creativity lightning bolt. It may never happen. If you want to be a business owner, go start a franchise. There's nothing wrong with owning a franchise. That's a great way to accumulate wealth and to unlock your wealth. Don't sit on the sofa because of these myths that people say that you have to be creative, you have to be risk taker. Or we haven't really talked about passion. Most people think you have to be passionate, Heather, about what you do. And I know that you are about real estate, and I know that you are about so many things because, you and I have talked before today. This isn't our first conversation. I know you're very passionate about these things. But I tell you, I have businesses, and I bet you do too, that I could really care less about. The only thing I really like about them is the income, right?
Yes, I have a couple of investments like that myself.
And so there's nothing wrong with that. And so I want people to get off this preconceived tick that you've got to be in love with everything you do. If you're not passionate about something, or you can't support yourself with your passion. My number one passion outside of my family is woodworking. Because I'm really horrible at it. And if I build a chair and you sit on it, it's going to collapse and you're going to hurt your butt, right? So I can't make a living doing what I'm passionate about.
Exactly.
But I like it, right. But you know what? I am willing to do things that are moral and mostly legal to make money that I'm not passionate about. I'm willing to do a lot of things that I like. Some things I do that I put up with, but they make enough money that they're worth doing.
Right. Well, when we get back from the break, I want to talk to you about systematizing your entrepreneurship or your startup and figure out, okay, I already have a full-time job and I want to be able to figure out, when should I quit that? How do I know? And all of these other questions relating to actually getting started. You are listening to Jim Beach on Unlock Your Wealth Radio. We'll be right back with more after this.
Commander Marty Logan here from the Top Gun Seminars. What I've learned over the years is that the most successful people in life have coaches to guide them along their chosen path. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Tony Stewart, Tom Hopkins, Kathy Colby all had coaches. Whether it was their father, someone else's father, or another person who helped them to shape their desires into an achievable path to success with a system of accountability where quitting was the only way to fail. Each of these people had someone who didn't see them as they first were, but as the person inside they knew they could easily become. Financial coaching can be the single addition you need to become financially independent. Call the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation now for your free consultation. 1-866-966-9420. That toll-free number again is 1-866-966-9420. Or visit us on the web at www.unlockyourwealth.com.
Welcome to the Unlock Your Wealth Update. Here's Heather Wagenhals.
Today's moneyism is from master promoter and showman P.T. Barnum. Money is a terrible master, but an excellent servant. This is so true. If you have ever been in debt and feel like you will never see the light of day at the end of the tunnel, this is exactly why. You should never be a slave to your own money. Time and again, because of our biology, we give in to the now, satisfying our desires for that instant gratification, only to be angry and resentful when we have to make the monthly payment. Maybe we've even broken that new gadget or stained the clothes we financed with a no interest and no payments for 90 days sales pitch. The fun wears off and we forget to pay the credit off and reap the rewards of special financing. You need to make your money work for you, not against you. You can pay interest or you can collect it. The choice is yours every time you pay with credit or borrow on stuff. For more great resources to help you create unlimited wealth and happiness, visit our website at crackingyourmoneycode.com. I'm Heather Wagenhals. Now go out and unlock your wealth today. Heather Wagenhals here from crackingyourmoneycode.com. Tune in to my Unlock Your Wealth update for your daily cup of money motivation. Weekdays at 12:25 during the Midday News Report on Corey's Hometown Radio, 1370 AM WWCB.
Attention passengers, please fasten your seatbelts as we are in for some turbulent weather ahead.
Bill Thomason is the Valley's premier business coach. Bill can help you ride out the turbulence your business may encounter. Bill Thomason is the America's premier executive coach and strategist. Bill can help you create the life you will love living. Over more than a quarter century, Bill has helped thousands of people just like you to achieve success beyond what they had imagined. Now is the best time you will ever have to decide what you want and to take powerful action toward achieving the outcomes you desire in your life. Bill has studied the success patterns of the highly successful people, and he has provided coaching and training programs to small business people and to top Fortune 500 executives across the U.S. and Canada. Now you can benefit from Bill's experience. If you are like most people, you may just need the professional encouragement a coach can give and a real plan for creating the outcomes you say you want in life. Call Bill now, 602-321-7192 to schedule executive coaching sessions.
Thank you for flying NLP Skills Training Institute.
show, everyone. You are listening to Unlock Your Wealth Radio, and I am your purveyor of prosperity, Heather Wagenhals, joined by the maestro of moolah, Michael Terry. And we are interviewing Jim Beach, and he is the head honcho at School for Startups. And we've been talking about entrepreneurship before the break. And now, so you've got me excited. I'm ready to get off the couch. I'm taking my Disneyland vacation money, and I'm going to buy a program. Now what do I do? How do I do this?
Well, it depends on the system. I'm not necessarily saying you have to buy a system. The first thing I want you to do is solve a problem, right? And so if you can find a business that's going to solve a problem, that's a fantastic business. And, that can be a very small thing. I love to tell the story of my co-author, Chris Hanks. We were the ones who wrote the School for Startups book originally. And when he was in high school, he discovered that there were 4 florists in town all delivering to the hospital once a day. And he called the florist and said, "I'll do your hospital deliveries for you." And he consolidated 4 people driving to the hospital every day to deliver flowers into one. And he got the business and was able to win the account because of that. It's an example of an absolutely zero-risk business that he was able to start. It doesn't depend on a system. It doesn't depend on anything. It depends on solving a problem, right? So if you can go out there and find a problem to solve, people will gladly throw their money at you. Now, if you can't do that, go out there and do what my wife does. I haven't told you that yet. All she does is buys stuff at wholesale. And by stuff, I'm being very literal. It does not matter what it is. It does not make any difference at all what the merchandise is. She buys stuff that she can find at a trade show and sells it on Amazon. Well, that's the easiest business in the world. Amazon does all the marketing for her. Amazon does all of the fulfillment for her. Amazon does all of the financial things for her. Every 2 weeks, she just gets a check in her checking account for the goods that she sold. So if you're out there listening and you say, "I want to be a business owner," scroll down on Amazon to the very, very bottom, and in the middle it says "Make Money with Amazon," and fill that out in under 5 minutes. And go out there and start a Amazon business. There's hundreds of other examples of that as well, of businesses that you can start with zero risk, zero creativity, and that the only thing you're going to be passionate about is the money.
So if I do this and I follow the directions, what else do I have to worry about?
Eventually, I hope that you get fired from your job, right? I would love it if you already have a job to keep it, right? Because that helps reduce your risk. And so, as you very well know, Heather, when you want to diversify your portfolio, you have as many income streams as possible. You invest in as many different types of real estate as possible, and you put some money in some other things as well, right? You diversify. And so I would hope that you keep your day job and you take up smoking, because I think smoking is a really great thing. I say that, of course, facetiously. What I do want you to do, though, is be able to take a break every 2 or 3 hours and go outside and have a cigarette, which I mean really is get on your phone and answer some of those important business emails, get some of that business done. Eventually, your boss is going to figure out that you're doing something else and fire you. That's when you should give up those benefits. I love this thing called health insurance. It's a wonderful luxury to have in the world today. And if you have a job and have health insurance, I would recommend that you keep that and do your outside businesses until you either get fired or you're making so much money that it just makes no sense for you to go to work anymore. My first business that I ever started, this is interesting, I started it with under $1,000, and the business was designed so that I could go back to graduate school and get another graduate degree. So I was going to work 3 months a year and then go to school 9 months a year. By the time that business was 3 years old, it was doing $6 million a year, and it made no sense for me to be in graduate school, and I quit.
Yeah, you quitter. Just think of what you could have been, Jim. Just think about it.
The grass is always greener.
Yes,
anyway.
it is. Yes, it is. So, my husband and I taught a course down at the University of Arizona in Tucson, and it was on entrepreneurship. And I know that you teach classes as well, and you did an experiment with your MBA class. Can you share that experience with us?
Well, it wasn't really an experiment. I was just egotistical. That business that I was telling you about had just been sold with 700 employees. And so, when you sell a business with 700 employees, your ego can get a little bit big. And I bet my class that I could start a business that semester and have it 100% cash flow positive and repay all startup capital within the semester. And they got to choose the country and the industry that I would start the business in. And if I failed, they all got A's. And so that was the bet. I had to start a business where they all got A's. And the first time that I ever did this was right after 9/11. And so they thought Pakistan would be funny because it's, obviously not an easy country to import and export out of after 9/11. And they thought furniture would be interesting. So I had 3.5-4 months to build a profitable Pakistani furniture company. Well, I won this bet 12 semesters in a row.
Oh, my gosh.
And from that, I was able to develop some rules. And those are the rules that I'm sharing with you today. Reduce your risk by starting with less than $5,000. If you don't need to be creative. If someone says you have 3 months to start a Pakistani furniture company, that's a fairly tough assignment. We were able to come up with something that I think was an incredibly non-creative yet still pretty creative solution. I had seen, Heather, at a flea market in Santa Barbara, a very nice piece of luggage, which was obviously made out of an old Persian rug that someone had cut up and made like a handbag out of type thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's a beautiful piece of luggage, and I had wanted to buy it, but it was like $700, and I couldn't afford it because I'm a poor entrepreneur, and so I had to, walk away from it. But when it came time for me to build furniture, I was like, what do we know that Pakistan has that, what's their most local commodity, best-known commodity? Well, Persian rugs, beautiful rugs. Furniture. What if we just took those old rugs that we could buy at flea markets in downtown Karachi and cut those up and made them into the fabric on a beautiful chair or a beautiful love seat or a 3-person sofa? So instead of having brand new fabric, you had a 100-year-old Persian rug that was soft, subtle, and beautifully worn as the fabric on your not state of the art, but your work of art. There's no other piece of furniture like this that goes next to your dry stack stone fireplace in your Aspen, mega mansion. That was the product that we came up with. That's not that creative. It's just taking their number one commodity and putting it on a piece of furniture or something. But nevertheless, we were able to win the bet. And it was a great little business. We were able to sell enough of them before they arrived in the United States to win the bet because it was, not that expensive. As I remember, it was $450 to get one of those imported into the United States, one chair. Mm-hmm. And they sold in the range of $2,000, $3,000 each because they were each a work of art, right? And so we sold it that way. And so here's another good lesson. We didn't have to sell very many to become profitable, right? We didn't have to sell but like 2 or 3 chairs to become profitable. My friend Joey Tatum started a bar in an old barber shop. It's an absolute dive. And then someone came in across the street and spent $2 million to start one of those brewery places. how many beers did Joey Tatum have to sell to get profitable? 12. If he sold
12 and a
if he sold a
haircut.
keg, exactly. Whereas the guy across the street had to sell 400,000 beers to become profitable.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, what a great story and a great challenge for your students. So if folks want to take a class, get your book, listen to your radio show, where can people find you to get more School for Startups, Jim?
Well, that's exactly it. Schoolforstartups.com. I am on Twitter at EntrepreneurJim. But the best place is schoolforstartups.com. Absolutely everything originates from there. The entire universe circles around schoolforstartups.com, Heather.
Oh, yes. You know what? I can feel Unlock Your Wealth Radio it polarizing right now as we're in orbit.
I greatly appreciate your time, and thank you so much for sharing with your audience.
Oh, the pleasure was mine. And for those of you who are driving around without a pencil, never fear. UnlockYourWealthRadio.com is here, where you can visit Jim's show page and get all the links to his good stuff. Stay tuned. We've got the keys to riches, moneyisms, and money dramas all on Unlock Your Wealth Radio right after this.
Commander Marty Logan here from the Top Gun Seminars. What I've learned over the years is that the most successful people in life have coaches to guide them along their chosen path. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Tony Stewart, Tom Hopkins, Kathy Colby all had coaches. Whether it was their father, someone else's father, or another person who helped them to shape their desires into an achievable path to success with a system of accountability where quitting was the only way to fail. Each of these people had someone who didn't see them as they first were, but as the person inside they knew they could easily become. Financial coaching can be the single addition you need to become financially independent. Call the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation now for your free consultation. 1-866-966-9420. That toll-free number again is 1-866-966-9420. Or visit us on the web at www.unlockyourwealth.com.
I'm Heather Wagenhals. Too much month left over at the end of the money? Tired of paying off debt like a slave? Then tune in to my 1-minute update on the Jiggy Jaguar Radio Network for your cup of money motivation. And for more tips, visit crackingyourmoneycode.com.
Attention passengers, please fasten your seatbelts as we are in for some turbulent weather ahead.
Bill Thomason is the Valley's premier business coach. Bill can help you ride out the turbulence your business may encounter. Bill Thomason is the America's premier executive coach and strategist. Bill can help you create the life you will love living. Over more than a quarter century, Bill has helped thousands of people just like you to achieve success beyond what they had imagined. Now is the best time you will ever have to decide what you want and to take powerful action toward achieving the outcomes you desire in your life. Bill has studied the success patterns of the highly successful people, and he has provided coaching and training programs to small business people and to top Fortune 500 executives across the U.S. and Canada. Now you can benefit from Bill's experience. If you are like most people, you may just need the professional encouragement a coach can give and a real plan for creating the outcomes you say you want in life. Call Bill now, 602-321-7192 to schedule executive coaching sessions.
Thank you for flying NLP Skills Training Institute.
Work all day, stress all night. Take your mind off your money and focus on your life.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. You are listening to Unlock Your Wealth Radio, and I am your purveyor of prosperity, Heather Wagenhals, with the maestro of moolah, Michael Terry.
Oh, yeah.
And let's get into some money drama. It seems like debt has been something we keep coming up against in today's show.
It's a very dramatic experience.
It is. And our moneyism, being money is a terrible master but an excellent servant, teaches us so well in one statement how important it is that we are in control of our money and not allowing our money to control us. But when we relinquish control by borrowing from others, we set ourselves up for slavery.
Yeah. Big time.
And it doesn't work well with the brain, because the brain is all about instant gratification. And so if we've already received the benefit for whatever it is, we're like on to the next thing, and we're not thinking about the benefit we already received. Right. Now we've got to go work and pay for that without that delay of gratification where it's the carrot at the stick, end of the stick dangling, and we'll receive it after we pay our dues for the hard work. We've already gotten it up front. And so the luster wears off.
It's so defeating.
I know. And part of the problem is that we get into this debt cycle mentality. And so when we finally accomplish the payoff of the debt, then we go out and rack up more because now we feel entitled to celebrate it, and we do the same doggone thing we just did. And it kind of plays into our moolah word, of consolidating debt. All we're doing is repackaging our bad mistakes.
Yeah.
Outside of the education example, because that technically makes sense. But, if you think about it, if we can't afford to pay cash for something at the end of the week or end of the month, we shouldn't be buying it. If we're financing our Ferragamos over time, then we really need to evaluate we're living beyond our means, because there's only 100 pennies to every dollar, right?
Right.
And so if you're spending 110 pennies for every dollar, you're losing money.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you have to pay for that privilege, now you're paying interest on top of that extra 10 cents you spent over your 100 pennies. And so now we've got something that starts spiraling out of control. And so we need to take back that control. And I think that that's part of what works so well in our break the budget key, where we deliberately say, okay, I can have this, satisfy that inner curmudgeon that really needs that instant gratification. I can have this. I'm just choosing to have it later. So I'm not saying no, I'm just saying not right now. I can revisit this later, and then you can continue to defer it by acknowledging, yes, you could have it, giving yourself permission to have it, but just choosing to have it at a later time. And you can even specify that that's how we create goals.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, I'm not going to have it now, I'm going to have it in 2 weeks from now or 2 months from now, and set it up as something that we can work toward. And number one, we're going to feel so much better about it when we do get it, and the luster will linger from the newness of the object when we've earned it versus the instant gratification. Got to have it now. And it's never more obvious than when you give an entitled child something and they play with it for like 5 minutes until they break it or they lose it. And then they're on to like the next thing. But if you make a kid earn something, oh my gosh, the turnabout is 180 degrees different. They take care of it. They manicure it. They baby it. They make sure that nobody messes with it. Yeah. And all of a sudden, there's a sense of ownership and a pride that lasts longer because they earned it versus just receiving something. And that's kind of what happens with the whole credit card thing. We're usurping the earning. Mm-hmm. And we're saying, okay, I'm going to have the gratification now, and then I'm going to pay for it later. But then, we get mad at the credit card companies. Well, they're charging so much in interest. Well, you were the one that agreed to pay it.
Yeah.
Where is our responsibilities to the obligation that we made? And it just becomes a vicious cycle. And so what we have to do is really work to avoid debt. And if we have non-productive debt, and that's the frivolous debt where we're financing our lunches and our Ferragamos and all of that stuff.
Yeah, because there's good debt.
Yeah.
Business debt is.
There's business debt, inventory debt. There is leverage when you buy investment real estate, when you lend on collateralized assets. So there's all kinds of great debt to have because that debt is making you money. It's paying for itself and there's some left over. Woohoo! Right. So that's the great thing about sensible leverage. And if we are so mired in frivolous debt, we're not going to have any room for desirous debt.
For the good stuff.
Yeah. So what we need to do is focus on eliminating frivolous debt and getting ourselves positioned financially with the appropriate amount of savings and debt to income ratios that we can afford to take on the good debt that will make us more money. So that's it for our money drama. For this week's key, I'm so excited. Dreams with deadlines. Woohoo! The fun begins because this is where we allow ourselves to run wild and, so to speak, with the hopes and dreams and aspirations, because this is where anything is possible. And what we need to do is actually pick one thing, or 2 or 3 things that we want to make possible, and then use our goal achievement strategy to make it successful. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, the Keys to Riches is a baker's dozen of financial concepts that not only teach you how to think like the rich and be in control of your own money, it also gives you specific techniques to create or fix your credit, eliminate debt, save and invest, building wealth while transforming your current financial habits into healthy money management skills. And we do that one key at a time, 1 week at a time here at Unlock Your Wealth Radio. And our Dreams with Deadlines key is where the fun begins, because now we're creating our purpose and our reason for earning and achieving. And this goal achievement strategy is not a goal setting strategy because it has accountability factored in. And we work through that throughout the entire Keys to Riches process. And it starts with today. And what we need to do is we kind of got to fake out our brain because we have this crazy curmudgeon that's all about instant gratification. And so we have to figure out how we keep him engaged while we are trying to achieve these long-term goals. That's why we usually don't achieve our long-term goals, is because we can't stay in the game. So we have to create a system where we can have these little small victories and be able to celebrate those and still keep our eye on the prize while still living in the moment for today and being as present as possible. So the way we do that is we don't go too far out, because as it is, goal setting is kind of an intangible sort of thing, because what is financial security? It's different for everybody, and it's something intangible. It's abstract. It's a concept. It's not like, oh, there's an apple over there and I'm hungry, I'm going to go eat it. It's not something tangible. So it's harder to stay engaged and enthused about. And I read this quote today by Zig Ziglar and I loved it. And it says that motivation is like showers. They wear off and you have to take another one. So motivation is something that you always have to be constantly doing. It doesn't, it wears like a shower does. Yeah. So you have to stay motivated, and it's a constant thing. It's like, people expect relationships to always have that in love new feeling, and it's not meant to. Yeah, it's meant to run its course, because ideally that warm and fuzzy feeling of being in love is about, a higher power getting us to procreate and populate the universe. Yeah. So that's what that's all about. That's not in love. That's folks, that lovely chemical feeling wears off, and so you have to create another level of love, a deeper sense of love. And just like that, we have to create a different level of motivation in order to achieve our goals. So first we have to figure out what it is that we want. And then we can break it down into smaller bite-sized chunks with our plan backwards philosophy. And one of the things that I learned early on when I was in sales as a selling technique was this concept called reduce it to the ridiculous. And so when I was selling solar hot water heaters and they were $10,000 a pop to stick these things on your roof, you weren't buying something that was $10,000 a pop. For 67 cents a day, you could take unlimited hot water showers. That's what I was selling. It just happened to be a $10,000 sale, of which I got my commission on. But your cost, or at least what I was telling you, is only 67 cents a day. So what if we took our goals and broke them down to something so ridiculous that we can't say no to, that we have to do? So that's what we're going to do, is instead of using it as a selling technique, we're going to reduce it to the ridiculous and make it a savings technique. So you're going to make your goals so small and so bite-sized in morsel that we don't even notice them as being something inescapable or unachievable. We're going to break them down, and then we're going to take action each and every day, and we're going to follow up, and then it'll lead us to our key, where we get to practicing the 3 R's, which is review, revise, and recommit, which is the final stage of our goal achievement strategy. And so what we need to do is just break them down each and every week into smaller, bite-sized, manageable chunks. Now, for your key statement, key affirmation, and key action item, please visit our website at unlockyourwealthradio.com. And for more in-depth interviews with money experts, strategies, and members-only tools to fix your credit, get out of debt, and have more money and happiness, do what other savvy listeners have and visit unlockyourwealthradio.com, where you go to get your money mind right so your wealth and happiness will follow. Become an Insiders Club member today and start receiving the benefits of millionaire wisdom right now. For Unlock Your Wealth Radio and the maestro of moolah, Michael Terry, I'm Heather Wagenhals. Now go out and unlock your wealth today.
Unlock UnlockYourWealthRadio.com is produced by Heather Wagenhals and the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation. UnlockYourWealthRadio.com and its affiliates are copyrighted 2015 with all rights reserved. For more information on the Keys to Riches Financial Wellness Series, please visit our website at www.unlockyourwealth.com.